All right, so let me begin this with a little story of mine. It all started when 2 years ago, India and Canada debated deeply on the worldwide usage of coal. Iceland wanted to conquer the entirety of the Arctic region, and France launched a war declaration on North Korea for alleged sexism. Just kidding, this is Model United Nations, or short for MUN, an activity where people pretend to be delegates from various countries in the world who solve international issues through debate. And when I first stepped into the MUN room and heard all of these fiery discussions going on, my introverted and quite honestly scared mind immediately went to this image. So, while everybody around me was energetically arguing about the issue at hand, I was just completely silent, sitting in a corner, trembling, and indeed kept telling myself that this was all fine. So yeah, this wasn't exactly the best experience. But after that, I realized that I too could achieve that level of engagement in debate. So I slowly started to get more courageous and more confident. Ever since, from sitting in absolute silence, I've slowly started to ask questions, go to the front and speak, trying to defend my arguments, all the way to the point where I have reached absolute confidence in debate and broken out of my introverted shell. And this, my friends, is an example of growth through challenges. But firstly, let's define what a challenge actually means. There are many interpretations to such a word. Those of you who are TikTok users, you probably know that. But the definition that Collins Dictionary and I will give is the following. A challenge is something new and difficult, which requires great effort and determination. Now, I know that a lot of you would probably be scared of the words difficult and great effort, as it is hard for one to come out of their comfort zone. And this is completely fine. I've also experienced this in my very own skin. However, when thinking about challenges, we should not focus on their difficulty and their necessary effort in their entirety, but rather envision small parts of them in order to better approach the challenge. What do I mean? Well, going back to my experience of MUN, last March I went to a conference in Poland. And that is when I really realized the importance of taking things slowly. No, I didn't immediately start barraging people with speeches and arguments. Instead, I took things one step at a time. At the beginning, I was simply listening in order to understand how others spoke and generally just to accumulate self-esteem within me. Later, when I felt confident enough, I would make brief comments and ask short questions, still relatively small actions. Then, when I was comfortable enough, I would go to the front and speak for 15, 30 seconds maximum. And after that, I would slowly yet steadily increase the length of my speeches, the frequency by which I went up and spoke, my ability to present my own ideas rather than simply discussing others, all the way to the point where what was previously perceived as an unscalable mountain soon became a piece of cake. Facing challenges one step at a time is a much more effective approach than taking them and viewing them as a whole, as it separates the major tasks into smaller, more manageable parts in a way that when the challenger looks at them, their mind is not filled with fear, but with the confidence that they will be able to blitz through all of these easy tasks, which secretly make up the entire challenge. So, all right, what can you actually learn through challenges? When somebody completes one, they will naturally feel empowered to try more and to succeed more. They would feel a surge of confidence in their own abilities, and they will receive a deeper appreciation for the new skills acquired throughout the journey. They would be able to understand the importance of good spirit and dedication, sharpen the methods employed throughout the challenge, and they will be able to consolidate their achievements in their life to indeed get more achievements. However, I hear you saying, well, what if we fail in a challenge? Does that mean that all the sweat and tears flown into the task were for nothing? As many athletes say, it is not my successes that have enabled me to be what I am, but my failures. And in order to explain this quote, I'm going to give you another anecdote of mine. Recently, 2 months ago, I became a candidate for the role of representative of grade 11, my grade, at the International School of Florence. Those of you who are my classmates, you probably know that. And despite dedicating myself deeply into this cause, I unfortunately succumbed to loss, and the place was taken by 2 other classmates of mine. So, I failed the challenge. Does that mean that all the time and soul poured into the project were completely wasted? Well, actually no. Through this apparent loss, I have gained a better insight of my very own method. Through critical analysis, I have understood what I did, which didn't work, what I should have done, which I didn't do, and generally how I could improve myself to succeed in the next time. For instance, I didn't ask for enough public opinion within my grade about issues of the school. I didn't use enough propaganda in the form of posters and social media posts to spread my figure amongst my classmates. And generally, I believe that my speech at the election day could have been so much more powerful. Maybe I will not get a next time to be representative of grade 11 or any other grade. But this is fine, because all the reflections and improvements made after failure are essential for growth and are indispensable for life, no matter the field that they're applied to. Failing challenges also provides emotional development, as it makes you realize that the world is not only made of successes, and that you, as all individuals, are prone to mistakes and errors. And it trains you to be resilient in front of problems and to step up and continue your life despite encountering delusion and sadness. Therefore, failing challenges can be as successful and constructive as succeeding in ones, if not more. Because failure makes you critical of all the decisions that you have made, and it allows you, as the challenger, to realize the gaps to fill in and to persevere to future obstacles. Now, let me tell you the truth. I'm only 16 years old, and I am no whatsoever expert in the field of challenges. I have only experienced a limited amount of them. I did not champion all of them, and sometimes I did not even fully appreciate my journey in some of the challenges. There's still so much for me to learn, so much for me to explore in life. Nevertheless, I must say, with my own personal experience, that challenges and tasks of any sort must always be faced with curiosity, bravery towards new learning capabilities and innovative approaches, and especially a desire to improve oneself. And it doesn't matter the outcome of the challenge. You would always gain something valuable. Initiative, courage, resilience, confidence. These are all skills which you shall acquire, which will allow you to take on tasks that were previously seen as too scary or too weighty. As President Roosevelt said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. It doesn't matter how frightening, heavy, or difficult a task may look like, because when you really go into the challenges ahead of you, you realize that each of them is really made of minuscule, easy steps, and that when you do complete a challenge, you will not only see behind you the ocean that you have created with your single droplets, but also the new skills that you've acquired, the friends you made along the way, and most importantly, your transformation, your metamorphosis, your growth into something that you could have never, ever imagined before. Something that you, the challenger, would definitely be proud of. Thank you.